Hello there, I'm Metal Tuner, and welcome to this new deck list for Hermina. So it has been a while since I last said I was going to do a Hermina deck list, and I just have been so distracted, and I wanted to do the Arts Aria one in the last deck list I did, but I'm back now, and I've sort of changed things up. So although you're seeing Common Beauty Hermina here, she is no longer our Vanguard. She is now just in the deck. Cause, and if you are well versed with Hermina, you know that means that Enduring Beauty Hermina is now taking the stage. Now, I've been deck testing this build a lot, and that's why this deck list also hasn't been out sooner, because I wanted to make sure it was something I was comfortable with and something that I know could be shared with everyone to the point where I was comfortable being like, yes, this has been so good for me, and I've pretty much won every game. I think I may have lost one game with it, but I've been up against the likes of Odium, Leal, Raziel. It's been a very good deck for me, and so I'm much confident in being able to be like, this is, a very good Hermina build that I can recommend to you. Now, we've just had the Knights of Rebirth set just come out, and there is no cards from that set in this. So if you haven't grabbed that set and you're like, oh, I really want to play Hermina, it's fine. This deck list will basically be playable if you have bought up to Sparkling Stars. I'm pretty sure. I don't think there's anything beyond that you would need to grab. So let's get going, shall we? So we'll go back to to our Enduring Beauty Hermina in a second, but we'll start with our ride line, and of course we have got the cutie topic Rabina. She's the law friendly Hermina support, so I've kept her in, and she'll probably still forever be in. So next, of course, we are sticking with the powerful ride line. I know a lot of people do not like Laranji, and I definitely understand because you're discarding two at the start of a turn. If you're not going second, it sort of hurts a bit more because you've got less cards in hand, even if you get a draw from the discard of Laranji. Um, but yeah, we kept her in because she allows the free ride up because you have no cards and soul. And then, of course, we got Entines. I still can't fathom how to say her name, but our 12k Vanguard, because she'll get that extra little power when she is on your Vanguard, and I don't really want to get rid of her for that. Really good. And then, of course, we are into Enduring Beauty Hermina. The reason I chose her because I noticed that Vanguard is getting a lot faster at the moment with its current meta, so you need to really be on the ball. So having Enduring Beauty Hermina, just get in there, get that counterblast reduction in, get that restand from discarding Hermina is very valuable. So the deck is going to be built around having Herminas to discard, Herminas to grab, so that on your first grade 3 turn you can get that restand and attack. So that is why I've chosen Enduring Beauty Hermina, and why, like I said, I would want it to have taken it to BCS at the start of the year, because this build I am so very happy with. Um, like I said, I sort of changed it because I felt a lot safer on Common Beauty Hermina, mainly because of that restand was always a problem. But I think I found like a balance where I could actually uh, get a good enough balance of Herminas to discard to be able to do the skill. So Let's get straight to it. Let's get to our grade ones, and we will start with, the standard crew. We have our movesetters here for our countercharging, and also to give that 2k to the front row. And she's always very valuable, and that's why I've kept her as a 3. She allows that rally to go off, when you really need her. So she had to have been definitely kept in, and I've kept her as a 3 because I don't think that 4 is really that valuable. So I'm very happy with that. Next, another regular parts crew, and very contentious, I would say, because a lot of players I've seen have removed Signy now, but I've got her in as a 3. She's been very valuable for these restands, especially on first grade 3 turn, just having that extra 8k power just to boost the card in front. And if in a rough state, you can play her at the front, which I did have to do yesterday in some of my games. Well, or I played Musetta because at least that way we've got an 18 restand instead, which it is a bit rough if you do not see your Ellies or your Aracos, but Signy has been doing work, and I'm very happy with that. But I will say that when the promo comes out, so there has been a promo that has been announced where basically it allows you to search for a powerful unit, and I believe it restands as well. It'll be up on screen, but basically she will be replaced by that. And then we shall go into, of course, we have PGs. I'm keeping this one in because of potential buddy fight, but also any potential stride decks that I come up against, just to make sure I get that sort of free elemental sanctude. I don't really come across many triple drivers. I mean, it does, the other version does cover that, but like I say, any stride decks, or if someone's running Token Rambu, because Token Rambu is still good. I do play Token Rambu on the side as well as Cater, so I wanted to keep them. And then finally, our final grade one is Mouse Old Paris. It is very valuable getting those Herminias back out, either of the soul or from drop, and also saves my bot a lot when it gets 15k from its guard effect. So one's enough. I don't really want to remove the Hermina from the game, especially if it's one that I could stall us out later. So one of, and then we'll go to grid twos, and it's pretty standard really. I think this hasn't changed at all. We have our 4 Aracos. We wanted to get some big power, and also remove from soul. So we have 5k to itself, and also its other skill where basically you can counter blast an energy blast 3, draw a card, and it gets 10k to the end of turn. So that's good when you're restanding. If you've managed to bundle up a bunch of energy, which you probably will have, because unless you do the 7 energy blast to draw a card, this is probably going to be the only thing that energy charges or energy blast, sorry, at all. And of course, when Hermina has 3, when you have your 3 damage face down, then this will be covered already. So very nice option, and Rarico continues to be a popular card of mine. Apologies about the shaky camera. I've had to change my setup today. Next, we have our 4 Solus. Continues to do work. You know, she's the booster. We're free powerful units, and also, you know, returning a card from drop, and also removing a card from soul if you have one. You know, she's so valuable for the early discards, just to be able to really not miss discarding like a rally early on, and then coming in with grade 2 turn and just using her. So always a good card, and I think she's probably gonna be our best promo until maybe that new one. We'll see how it goes, but you know, next we have our Custodia. She of course is our filter. You know, good. I always use her for that soul blast first, over the rallies and Raricos now. You know, she did some great work yesterday with filtering, and I happened to draw every single one of her, so that was quite a interesting one. But she was very valuable, especially when I was able to restand her, because I mean that was very rough, but it had to be done. So, and of course her shield ability, wherever I have a Herminia Vanguard, she gets an extra 5k shield, is always very valuable. And finally, we have Rally, but we have completed the FFR rallies. So if you're unaware, I've been searching for FFR rally for about, I can't even say, maybe 3 years, 2. But it's been such a big hunt. I mean, I even had one come in like an L shape from America, and that was pretty rough. But they're all pretty in good nick. I don't know how it survived, but I finally got my final one, and I'm very happy that I've got them all shiny. So, so all 4 of them in the deck, of course. You know, you've again a Soul Blast user, but mainly there's Overskill is our main one that is going to be the Threatener. Counterblast in 2, she gets 10k, and she can perform a drive check, and that is, you know, it does so much work, and is probably one of the best cards that Hermina has at hand, I would think. You know, it brings up so many problems for my opponents, and it has to always be a 4. I can't really see anything else. So we will go on to the grade 3s now, and we will start with, of course, our 3 personas. Now, we do not want to be discarding these unless we have to, and you know, Mouse can help sort that out. But yeah, usually we will keep hold of these, and you know, have to have 3. But like I said, we don't want to discard them, so we have brought in the old Hermina, and we're running 3 copies of it. So, you know, if we miss Persona on our first grade 3 turn, we want to be discarding this for our restand. I haven't really never seen one. So it came up quite nicely with the 3 of, so I'm very happy with that. But I think I may have used one, but then not seeing the persona, and then had none to use and not seeing the mouse. So that gets on to the thing that saved me, and that was our good old friend, the Gratius Gradle. So this will be our persona activator. So it solves our problem, so we can have pay the counter blast or if we have 3 face down damage, we can then go and activate it via that. So that's why I've run the Gradle over Radiant's Caliburn. I absolutely love Radiant's Caliburn, but I really wanted something that could save me. And I haven't really had much issues with me running 7 grade 3s in the deck. I haven't seen any issues with guarding or any of that. In fact, this build has probably helped me with my hand a lot more, I think, because you're also removing the discard to restand 1, but because you're restanding 2, you're more likely to gain a card back from Drives of Rally. So that's why I've kept this in, just so that it's basically like a 4th Herminia, really. So I'm very happy with this. And then let's get on to triggers. So we still have the 2 of us rhyme in my heel lineup. To be honest, I could just take it out. I mean, probably the 5k is a bit more valuable than the skill, because this skill I don't really see too much. I mean, I don't really see this heel too much, to be honest. I only really see the cute, cat one. But yeah, pretty standard. Can be changed up for a basic one or the other one. I don't really see any need to use that one. Regarding fronts, we still have our 3 fronts. I have upgraded them to SP because I saw a good deal for them, so I thought, I may as well grab them while I still can. So I've got my SP fronts. Wanted the skill for the extra power of the soul fronts. Would never really call us to the field. So I think this one was always going to be the case, because although I could feed my soul, I don't want to be stuck in a situation where I'm 5k short, and this is always very good to me, especially when I have mouse as well, so I can guard the really big attacks. I think that builds where it's more front based, I think it is a good option, but as I'm going to show next, we have the 8 crits. I really should have kept those crits a lot closer. Yep, so we still have our 8 crit. This is basically going to be the case, just because I want my rallies to be as threatening as possible. I can always shove over the crit over to a Rarico on the other side, because I usually like going rally Rarico, just so both getting 10, they're not really clashing into each other, but a rally can feed a Rarico, make it bigger, give it another crit maybe, if the opponent has not no guarded the rally, which rarely happens. But yeah, I wanted to keep the crit build just to keep the rallies more threatening. And I think especially with Enduring Duty Herminia now being the Vanguard, like straight off the bat, I think this is great for me. Although I can definitely see fronts being very valuable. I've just decided to go down this route for the time being. But, maybe I will give an 8 front build a go. It would be quite nice to be able to choose to be able to filter, but it's very specific, and you're basically losing 20k of shield from doing that. So finally we'll go on to the OT. Uh, so very weirdly, I've gone with the lyrical one. Now, last I left it, I had the blue one. I'm going to be honest, the reason why I'm running the lyrical one is because I've moved the blue one to Arts Aria. So I think really I would use the blue one in this. So if I would like went into a tournament, I would switch this out for the blue one. Um, this does still have value because it gives power to your rear guards for the rest of the game. So I think if you did get stuck and you were stuck with like grade one on the front, I think it would be very valuable. But yeah, I think that I would still stick with the blue, honestly. But I think the lyrical one does definitely have some value, especially with uh, getting stuck with missing units. But you know, it is what it is. And so that is it for this deck list. I'm absolutely loving this build, and I hope it continues to entertain me. And if I change anything, I will let you know because I've been having a lot of fun experimenting with Herminia. But I think this will be it for now. I'm Metal Tuner, and I'll see you upstream. Keep thrashing.